Chapter 3: The Digital Shift from Analog to AI. How Gen X has already bridged multiple technological eras, and why AI is just the next step. Welcome to the future again. Remember when Back to the Future Part 2 told us we'd have flying cars by 2015? Yeah, that didn't exactly pan out. Instead, we got Twitter arguments, reality TV stars running for office, and people eating Tide Pods for fun. But while the promised future didn't arrive in quite the way we expected, one thing did come true. Technology has completely reshaped our lives. And here we are, Generation X, caught right in the middle, again. We were the last kids to grow up analog and the first to go digital. We went from rotary phones to smartphones, from vinyl to CDs to MP3s to whatever the hell NFTs were supposed to be. We're the bridge generation. We learned how to use a typewriter and then had to figure out Microsoft Word. We played Pong, then Mario, then got motion sickness trying VR. We were taught cursive in school, only to find out later that nobody would ever ask us to use it. And now, AI is the next step. A lot of people are panicking about AI, worried that it's coming for our jobs, our privacy, and maybe our very humanity. And sure, there are things to be cautious about. But if history has shown us anything, it's that Gen X is uniquely equipped to handle this transition. Why? Because we've done it before. So let's take a trip down memory lane and remind ourselves how many technological upheavals we've already conquered. AI isn't scary. It's just another evolution in a long line of shifts we've already survived. Growing up in the analog world. The 70s and 80s. A time before internet, before social media, before everything was connected 24/7. We were raised in an era where, if you missed your favorite TV show, tough luck. You had to wait for a rerun. If you wanted to talk to a friend, you called their house and hoped their dad didn't answer. If you needed directions, you unfolded a paper map. And good luck folding it back. We actually had to memorize phone numbers, rewind cassette tapes with a pencil, and navigate life without Google. And we did it all without complaining too much. Then the technology started creeping in. The 80s and 90s, the dawn of the digital age. This was when things started to change. The digital world slowly invaded our analog existence, and we adapted like champs. Remember the first home computers? They weren't sleek, pocket-sized devices, but giant beige monstrosities that took up an entire desk. The Apple II, the Commodore 64, the IBM machines that ran on DOS. These were our first real glimpse into the future. And let's be honest, those early computers were kind of a pain. Booting them up took forever. If you made a typo in MS-DOS, good luck fixing it. Printing something? Hope you had an hour to spare while the dot matrix printer screamed at you. But we figured it out. We played Oregon Trail and inevitably died of dysentery. We learned basic. And somehow we managed to make it work. That's the Gen X way. The internet arrives. By the mid-90s, the internet started creeping into our lives, and let's be clear, early internet sucked by today's standards. Dial-up was slow, and you couldn't use the phone while online, and call waiting would interrupt your round of doom. Websites were ugly, clunky, and took forever to load. If you wanted to download a song, hope you had a few hours. And yet, we were the first generation to experience the magic of going online. Chat rooms, Napster, AOL Instant Messenger, early Yahoo searches, it was all new and exciting. And when the world went fully digital, we adapted. In the 2000s and 2010s, we really saw the rise of automation. By the time the 2000s rolled around, technology was no longer a novelty, it was the default. And once again, Generation X had to keep up. We switched from flipping through CDs in our cars to using iPods and later streaming services. We went from physical video rental stores, rest in peace Blockbuster, to on-demand streaming. We learned to text without physical buttons. Rest in peace, BlackBerry users. We know you still miss it. Everything started moving faster, and we had two choices. One, adapt and evolve, or two, become the grumpy old folks who complain about kids these days. We chose to evolve, and that brings us to AI. AI, the next shift that we're totally capable of handling. Here's the thing. AI isn't replacing us. It's just another evolution in the long line of technological shifts we've already survived. AI isn't magic. It's just another tool. Just like we transitioned from typewriters to word processors, from landlines to smartphones, AI is just the next step. It's here to help us, not make us obsolete. So what does AI actually mean for us? Well, one, it can save us time. Imagine an assistant that schedules your meetings, filters your emails, and remembers appointments better than you do. No more digging through files. AI can pull up information in seconds. It can even help write reports, summarize articles, and create presentations. Two, it can automate the boring stuff. AI can handle repetitive tasks like data entry, invoicing, or sorting emails. It can transcribe meetings, translate languages, and help us manage work-life balance better. Three, it can make us more creative. AI-powered tools can help edit photos, write content, compose music, and generate ideas. Instead of replacing creativity, AI is enhancing it, helping artists, writers, and musicians do more with less effort. It can keep us relevant as well. Whether you're in business, finance, healthcare, or retail, AI is changing every industry. Learning to use it now ensures we stay ahead rather than struggle to catch up later. For my final thoughts, we got this. Look, change is always weird at first. We get it. We're Gen X. We've seen it all. But let's be real. We've adapted to bigger shifts before. We went from recording songs off the radio to Spotify playlists. We went from flipping through encyclopedias to Googling everything. We went from blowing on NES cartridges to playing games that are so realistic they almost look like movies. AI isn't some mysterious force coming to steal our souls. It's just the next tool in tech evolution. And if history has proven anything, it's that we, Gen X, don't just adapt, we master. So let's stop fearing AI. Let's learn to use it and make it work for us. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, it's this. If we can survive Windows 95 crashes, MySpace, HTML coding, and the horror of accidentally calling someone on a Nokia brick phone, we can absolutely handle AI.